Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. We are here with another news, and the killer robots are coming. The killer robots are coming, everybody. Run for the hills. The killer robots are coming. Yeah, fascinating. There is so much going on in the news. So much going on in the news that I debated about cutting things out. I have more articles than I usually have. I have more topics than I usually have. Hopefully we don't go for 4 hours, but if we go for 4 hours, why not? What's the big deal? Should we have a switchathon? Switchathons. There you go. But greetings, everybody. Greetings, everybody. Mark Yates, while you're on, I have 32 gigs of DDR3 desktop RAM. Are you in need of any of that? It's on Craigslist right now. I'd like to sell it off. I'm going to sell it off probably at a quarter to a half of what the value is. It's HyperX RAM, really good stuff. So let me know if you need that for any of your computer builds, or if you can turn that around faster than I can. Let me know. Keegan, the Tennessean, has been distro hopping a little bit today. Always nice to come home to Linux Mint. Yes, it is. I spent most of my day yesterday just doing Blender stuff, and just Linux Mint is just so nice to do Blender work. So, let's see. He's playing with Fedora, XFCE, LXDE, Manjaro, Scientific Linux, and trying to figure out how to update the repositories in Hannah, Montana. Good God. Hannah, Montana? How about Bieber Linux, man? Did you try Justin Bieber Linux? I hear it's better. No, wait, hold on. I don't know. Which is better? Justin Bieber Linux or Hannah Montana Linux? I don't know. More comfortable in Debian or Ubuntu-based distros. Some people will say that others such as Arch or Fedora have better. That's fine with me. Prefer what works personally. To each their own. Yeah. Hello, Dr. Rob. How's it going there? Listening to Tim Cook, Apple CEO's preaching on online security. I don't know what I think about him preaching on online security. I just don't know. Mark says to start early. I'm just one of those meticulous people. I gotta start on time. I don't know. I schedule them out, and it's part of what it is. Apple being silly again. Yeah. All right. Daniel Turvis. Hello there. Just logging off, restarting, grab some eats, be back in a jiffy. Be back right back in a Jiffy Lube. Or are you having a Jif peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I don't know. Q1 Fiend, waiting for the kitty cam. Waiting for me. All right. Gail, how's it going there? Keegan is back, I guess. Hello, KO2610. Your number has come. Is that Ubuntu Budgie back there? Yes, it still is Ubuntu Budgie. I know I said almost a week or two ago I was going to stop using it. It hasn't irritated me enough that I got to stop using it. And that's maybe a good sign. Maybe that's a really good thing about it. It's that I'm still using it. I'm bored of it. I found I get bored of Budgie. For whatever reason. It's not like, I appreciate the fact it gets out of your way, but I think it gets too far out of your way. But it's one of the reasons I've kept it on there is all my emails work perfectly. Both Evolution and Thunderbird are working great. I have all of my different associate accounts are all logged in on it, so I don't have to worry about any of that. That's one of the annoying parts, is having to get logged back into everything when I switch distros. So I don't know. I'm actually thinking about, since now instead of using just a little USB thumb drive, I'm actually using a 1 terabyte hard drive. I'm thinking about actually keeping that partitioning thing out and just throwing a bunch of other distros on it. That's what I'm thinking about. I might do. But yeah, it's running fine. So that's good stuff. Let's see, Melly the 8th, I guess. I don't know. Good day, sir, from Ireland. Hello there, Ireland. How are you? Trying to learn about IPFS. What is IPFS? Never heard of that. BitBlocks. Greetings. BitBlocks. I still need... Wait, hold on. No, I got yours. No, is it yours? Somebody, I have an address to mail the mouse pad to, but I don't have the name. I have to have a name to mail it to. Is it you, or is it someone else? Let's see. Yes, BitBlocks. I do need a name to attach to that address. I can't mail something out without a name in the post office. So if you PM me the name to put on the top of your package, and then your mouse pad will go out probably Monday, I'm guessing. I don't think I'll get to the post office tomorrow. Saddle Ridge, your mouse pad was shipped out today. Being as how close you are to me, I think you will get it on Monday. So check your mail on Monday. You should have a mouse pad coming to you. Mark Yates, yes, if you do want that RAM, PM me, we'll work something out. Proud to be a Patreon, about rebuilding my rig using older AM4 board. Yep. I tried Bieber Linux, it was like, baby, 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 baby. Wait, hold on. This is Justin Bieber. Baby, 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 baby. Isn't that the song that they played in Diary of a Wimpy Kid? Was that 3, I think? I don't know. Oh, boy. Anyway, hello, James Miller, and he says hello to me, and hello, CJ. Hello, James Miller. How are you doing? All right. Jonas, you people, I know. Hello, Ryan. Gonna need to upgrade the tinfoil armor plate with what's going on. Oh, boy. Yeah. You have no idea. In fact, it's so tinfoil hat time. I got my tinfoil hat kind of behind me here because Department of Homeland Security late today just came out with an article. I just threw it in last minute. I'll tell you all about it when we get to the news. It's crazy. KFC tonight, honey gold mashed potatoes, mac and cheese. Ooh, that's good. Odie, hello there. Is that Odie, right, from Garfield? Yeah. All right. I think got me started on peppermint. I like it. Yeah, peppermint's awesome. I love peppermint. Jonas, kind of guy that can't decide on a desktop environment. Yeah, there's a lot of cool ones. That's the thing. If you like your desktop environment to have a cool balance of functionality and customizability and just amazingness, KDE. If you want just something simple that's not too far out of your way, I like Cinnamon. Of course, Budgie's completely out of my way. That's pretty nice. So, it's good. Interplanetary file system, distributed internet. There you go. Way better than the original. All right. Okay. So here's our news topics for today. Privacy, obviously. Lots going on in the privacy world. Evil technology, based that is the place our video is going to come from. I've pulled out a few articles in Bad Business, 3 data breaches to talk about this week. That's exciting now. And 2 articles under the topic of really? Oh boy. So let's just go ahead and dive on into some of these. Whoa, I gotta change my web browser view. I think that's what I need, right? Yep, that's what I need. And let me drag this guy over a little bit, make my screen a little bit more balanced out. There, and a little bit more down there. All right, there we are. That's good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and start in on the privacy news. So this is a fun one here. Yeah, and by the way, that Project Mavis, which was the Google one, that's not even the one we should be concerned about yet. I mean, we should be concerned about it, but not yet. I mean, there's other ones that are bigger fish to fry. But anyway, let's go ahead and dive into these. From CNBC, Facebook apparently sent a doctor on a secret mission to ask hospitals to share patient data. They've decided to table this for now? Did I scare you, Kitty? I haven't gotten on fire yet. Kitty's a little concerned. He's thinking I might want to get out of here. Let's give him the choice. Is he going to sit or is he going to go? I don't know. But anyway, they've decided to scrap this plan, but it was disconcerting all the same because of a lot of the factors going on here. So basically they want to send a doctor out to collect patient data. Of course, it's anonymized data. But what they want to do is figure out, their plan was to de-anonymize the data. Literally, that's their plan. How are they going to do this? How are they going to de-anonymize their data? Well, what they're going to do is they want to grab the data, which is all anonymized because of HIPAA regulations. You got to strip the data out, all this. I don't even understand how they can give it out even anonymized, especially to a group like Facebook. And then Facebook is going to comb through diagnoses, times, places, and who shared their medical conditions on Facebook and figure out who's who. And then they wanted to do another one of their exciting sociological experiments where they tried to figure out if illness was correlated to social circles. Okay, number one, to do a type of sociological experiment like Facebook is doing. Now, this in and of itself is slightly more benign than some of them. But for Facebook to do many of the studies they have already done in the past and are probably already doing, you generally have to get a human review committee to sign off on it. Literally, people in Facebook should be in jail for conducting emotional and psychological experiments on people without their consent and without a human review board consent. Because anytime you're doing any type of research project involving humans, you have to have a human review committee signing off, and every human involved must know they are involved and what their role is. And what I'm referring to is not what they're doing with this data collection with the hospitals. I'm referring to the studies that they did a while back where some people, they were pushing exclusively negative stuff in their algorithm, some people exclusively positive stuff and measuring behavior stuff. That type of thing should have landed high-level executives in prison. Because if I, as a university researcher, did an experiment like that without a human review committee and without proper sign-off, it would be the end of my career, it would be stripped of my degrees, and it would be landing in jail. Let's hold these idiots in Silicon Valley to the same standard as the rest. So basically, this is what they want to do, is send out doctors to go out to hospitals and collect anonymized data, and literally their task was to de-anonymize and figure out who was who was what, and how did it all relate. Literally. They have decided to put this plan on hold. We're just going to put this plan on hold for now. You think? I think put this plan on hold forever might be a good option. I mean, I don't know. Who am I? I'm just, some crazy guy that sometimes wears a tinfoil hat. I don't know. But anyway, that was quite exciting. Dude, the 80s called. He wanted his suit back. Oh, man. But anyway, yeah, that's exciting. Let's just move on. Oh, God. Alexa can now broadcast your voice to every echo in the house. I mean, this is kind of like if you had a big mansion with, with telecoms, you could telecom your things out. I think my cousin had one of these, didn't necessarily need one. I mean, it's like dinner's ready, that generally works in most of your houses. But of course, the fact that you're doing this means that you're saying something into the echo, it's going up into the cloud, storing all the data, and then pushing it back down to all the other echoes in the house. Oh, God. The only people that could possibly need this are the people that won't go near this type of technology. But yes, you can now, Alexa can now broadcast your voice all across. Oh, time to remind the kids it's time for bed. You know that your kids are going to have a whole lot better time adjusting in the world if you go up and you remind them in person, and you maybe put them in bed and you maybe tuck them in, read them a story, things like that. I mean, if they're teenagers, they don't need the reminder. If they're little kids, they don't need an echo dot telling them it's bedtime. This is me. Oh, bedtime, Junior, bedtime. What are we? What are we, people? What? That's crazy. That's crazy, crazy, crazy. But anyway, now Alexa can broadcast her voice to every echo in the house. Why would you want more than one? Why would you want one? I don't know. It's kind of scary. Oh, boy. All these DNA tests. So, all these DNA tests. So this woman decides to go into Ancestry.com, take a DNA test, and learns that her real dad is her mom's doctor. Oh, God. Well, better than the garbage man. I don't know if I have anything else to say about this. I just these online DNA tests, these things are a little crazy. I mean, honestly. And then, of course, you're submitting this to some private company that now owns and controls your DNA and can attach it to everything that you do. And, what if these companies are attached to medical companies, other things, or they just want to sell their database of millions of people? That's the thing, is that this company may not be nefarious, but you have to think whether it's their exit strategy. Like Fitbit. What is Fitbit's exit strategy? Because every good business has one. What if the guys that own Fitbit are like, all right, well, now we have 50 million, with 1/5 of the 500 million, was it five? It's how many people in America now? I forget. Anyway, okay, now we have 45% of American adults full-fledged fitness activity on our Fitbits. Well, it's time to sell the business. Let's do an open business call. Who's the first person going to want to buy that thing? Health insurance companies. Health insurance company that gets their database is a health insurance company that's going to be a whole lot more profitable down the road. That's the same thing with this DNA test companies, is because there are some things in your genetics that can that can be indicators of the propensity that you will get some type of disease. And so you don't want to do these types of genetic tests, because you're basically giving this type of private data into a private company more than we have to. Of course, in the United States, I believe since like the 70s, private companies have contract with hospitals to take blood samples, and somebody else owns the stuff anyway. But still, it's kind of out there a little bit. But this is a little funny. Just a reminder, if you take the DNA test, that you very well may find out that the doctor who's been, your mom's got a lot of medical issues, spends a lot of time in the doctor's office. Yeah, she does. Special treatments. Very special treatments. Wow. Oh boy. This is an exciting one. Grindr, the Grindr app, of course, the Grindr app is for it's a location-based app to help gay men hook up. It's pretty much exclusively for sexual favors. It's like it's all that stuff that the world tends to look negatively at the homosexual community. Just the reality is that homosexuals are not necessarily just out promiscuously, but Grindr is specifically designed as a promiscuous app that two people happen to have the app on their phone. You keep it silently. You walk within a certain distance of somebody else with a Grindr app, and then it bings you, and it's like, ooh, there's somebody else with a Grindr app nearby. Well, Grindr app's like, well, since our app is based upon gay men having promiscuous sex, it's probably a wise thing to make sure that people having HIV tests, and so the app would remind them to get an HIV test and encourage them to share the results, so that, you'd have the results shared, and that way you can have confidence that the person you're just hooking up with randomly on the street to have gay sex with isn't actually happen to have AIDS. Yeah, they were selling that data to the third party. Hey, honey, what a nice case of AIDS. So, yeah, and they came out like, oh, we're going to stop sharing that data. Yeah. Wait, maybe that was a bad thing. This is kind of like that health company, the health insurance company that sent out all those notices to people with envelopes that were way too wide for the address label, and people could actually read, just picking up the envelope and read that it was about AIDS diagnosis stuff. This happened, I don't know, a couple months ago. But yeah, Grindr has been sharing information about the HIV status of people, and they decided that no, this is, in light of all the Cambridge Analytica stuff, we're going to stop doing that because that's just a little scary. So yeah, this is why you just don't give too much data. Just assume anything you throw out there with somebody is just going to get spread onto someone else. Yeah, that's exciting. And of course, if you're a lonely person, you can now get a robot who will listen to what's going on in your life and help keep you connected with your friends. Now, am I the only one that thinks that this thing looks like the spawn of Satan? I mean, that thing is creepy. It just looks like this black ghost with eyes coming up out of the shadows. Have you texted your friends today? And oh, God. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. So basically, they're saying, 5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 35 are living alone. That number's growing. Well, many of them live alone by choice. It can also be socially isolating. If you're into that, whole social, being social thing, the situation is similar to any other company. Basically, the thing's going to listen. It listens to ambient noise. And so it'll like, it knows if no one's home, and then it hears you coming in. It's just like, oh, you came in. Did you text anyone today? Oh, God. Did I say something about creepy on this? Oh, yeah, there you go. It is doing this by listening to what goes on in your life and the life of your friends in a in as non-creepy a way as possible. I don't think that it's possible this thing can be non-creepy. I mean, it just looks like the spawn of Satan. Look at that thing. It just like looks like a black cat staring at death. You know, it's just like, oh God. Operates by listening to what it calls living noise, which is the stuff in your home that makes noises besides you. The robot's voice recognition is minimal and doesn't record voices, so they say. So it's much more private than something like Alexa, and it's also smarter in ways with the ability to understand what's going on in the environment just by listening. Freebo can recognize noises like a vacuum cleaner, a motor running, a microwave turning on, running a washing machine, a refrigerator door opening or closing, noises from the entrance doors or specific rooms or more. Over time, with your help, it's able to learn what new noises mean. And the robot also has an ultrasonic sensor that's able to determine whether you're in the room or not, along with the temperature, humidity, and ambient light. When a Freebo enters in your home, hears a noise it recognizes, it sends a message to another Freebo in a friend's home, or even to an entire network of Freebos belonging to people you know. Example is, let us assume one friend opened a refrigerator. Freebo receives an event from the server, and the robot starts to communicate with this user saying, oh, someone just opened the refrigerator door. I wonder what food your friend is going to have. Check, please. I mean, check, please. Excuse me, I need a moment to drink my coffee. Wow. Wow. Of course, it's detecting all this stuff and sending it up to some other central server, so some company's actually gathering all that stuff. Look at this thing. It's intended to be a trigger, providing prompts that encourage follow-up social interactions. So, okay. I have my creepy-looking Freebo setting up over here. All right, there we go. There's my creepy Freebo setting up over here. And my friend's got a creepy Freebo. And in his creepy Freebo hears his refrigerator door opening and sends me a message to say, hey, Joe Blow over there just opened the refrigerator. And so I'm supposed to pick up my phone now and be like, hey, my Freebo told me you opened your refrigerator. How you doing on that diet? Check, please. We are taking more applications to join the reptilian alien race. Let me know if you're interested. My cute little handler over here is, well, he'll get a cute little handler for the rest of y'all. Wow. Oh, here he is. Here's the handler. All right. Here's the handler for my alien race. He's really an alien. That's why he's so cute. There you go, buddy. Come on up here. I think that you're a slightly better than a Freebo for that whole living alone thing. Oh, boy. And if you want any more scariness, yeah, over there, sorry for the brightness. That's entirely too pink. But basically in China, the police are telling any shops and restaurants that provide Wi-Fi to the public that they must use a government-approved router. Creepy. Creepy. Switch routers or pay up to $18,000. So yeah, that's kind of scary. Call the service line, ask what router were approved. We're told they are from a brand called BHU, but it didn't specify a specific model. Depending on the part of the city and the business is based on, the government will either buy the router and charge $16 deposit, or they will have to buy the router themselves for $63. There's a little-known BHU-based company that makes routers for businesses, but the company boasts on its website long-term collaboration with local police in China. That just makes me so excited. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, boy. Actually, I think I want to put this over with bad business. I'm going to move an article around a little bit there. All right, let's have a look at some comments. Let's see. Yes, can I get that? I was getting ready for the stream. I had to get me pizza. All right. Pizza. Where's pizza? Pizza. I was going to get ready for this. Okay. I mean, desktop environments are Cinnamon, Budgie, and the late Unity. Yep, I like Unity. I really wanted to like Unity. I just couldn't. Okay. Man, patient data now. Big bro, let's get all supposed to be. Yeah. Not put a hole in, just say they did. Yeah, there you go. That's about the business as normal at Facebook. Oh, no, we didn't do that. Yeah. I didn't include the articles where Mark Zuckerberg is able to retroactively delete a message from outside of your inbox. The rest of us can't do that. He can, but now they're like, we're rolling that out to everyone else. It's just been in beta for a long time, you know. But basically, the executives have had the ability to permanently delete messages, although we don't have that option. Kind of transparent list modifications, hoaxes, and more types of crimes can happen this way. I don't know. With that Alexis creepy laugh in the middle of the night. Yep. Yes. There was an article a couple weeks ago where, the Alexas just started laughing. They said it was a trigger to something, but it really wasn't, actually. Facebook snooping on medical info. It should be dealt with, but I'm sure all Facebook's experiments are shared with the suits that allow them to get away with it. No, the reality is that anytime you are involving human subjects with an experiment like that, it has to be the person involved being experimented on has to sign off on it. That's why I have no idea why half of Facebook executive committee is not in jail right now. Because if any of the rest of us normal people, not CEOs of Facebook, did that, it'd be jail time. Easy. Digital babysitters, woohoo! Mommy always told me the real daddy was the milkman. At least Doc wasn't in an affair with his patient saying, who's your daddy? Ancestral DNA companies reserve the right to sell your DNA to whoever they want. Yep. Hey, honey, want a nice case of AIDS? Oh, boy. Yeah. Loud, get a cat or a dog. Meow. My wife works for GI doctors, and the vast majority of their youngster patients are homosexual men getting treatment for gastrointestinal complications related to HIV or other STDs. That's not good. One of the biggest staggering things right now is well over 50% of high school students leave high school with a sexually transmitted disease. I don't need a robot to keep me company. Yep. That's not creepy at all. Okay, can I get one bash? Can I get one and bash it with a nice piece of hickory until it's dead in pieces? Oh boy, sounds like a candidate for a hydraulic press channel or an admin from Grindr. Oh boy, then back. Came for Linux news, stayed for the cat. Meow, stay for me, meow. Yeah, I don't do a ton of Linux news over here. I do tech, privacy, social type news. That's usually what I cover. Linux when I do, but there's enough geeky Linux guys that know more about some of the back end of Linux than I do, so I let them handle all the Linuxy news. I get all the stuff that people want to hear about. Sad man, everyone needs a good friend. I'll try to guarantee it. Okay. Here's what Zuckerberg said in 2010. Over 4,000 emails, pictures, addresses, SNS retracted. What? How'd you manage that? Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. He did say that, and it's kind of scary. This is an article from Business Insider. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to our main section. The killer robots are coming. What killer robot story wouldn't be great without an autonomous car crashing into things? So of course we've had a couple issues with Teslas. Now, of course, we had the murderous Uber car. The murderous Uber car thump someone over, and I just gotta, I won't tell you about that. I just want to do that someday. All right, anyway. But anyway, there's been on top of that killer Uber car, there's been these two major Tesla things. And apparently Tesla's just come out and says, you know what? We really don't know how to handle these lane dividers properly. Basically, Tesla cars on autopilot keep crashing into these things. I don't know why, but it's just like they keep on crashing into these road dividers. They're just like, it's crazy. Two of them in the last couple of weeks. Now, this one here, the road divider was working fine, and so the car is pretty much toast. But, you know, everyone seemed to walk away from this one. But they kind of came out in response to this and said, yeah, they were having problems. Now, what happened, though, is there was another one, and I think I gotta click another article for this one. I think this one was it. All right, so this one here is a Tesla car crashes into another one of those rails. But what had happened is that rail that time had already been damaged from a previous accident and had not yet been repaired. And so it wasn't functioning as it should have been because it hadn't yet been repaired. And so this Tesla rammed into it and it was so destroyed they could not really get good, reasonable data out of it. And this thing was completely totaled. And like, I believe everyone in here died. So basically, these are those rails. So if you collide into one of these things, they compact in like this. All right. What had happened is somebody hit one and it hadn't yet been repaired. And then the Tesla car hit it again. Because Tesla cars seem to ram into these things. I don't know if it was part of their testing stuff, but something in the autopilot likes running into these things. So, you know, look, hold on to this. Ah! So, killer cars. Yeah. Oh, actually, I think I covered that one another place. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's kind of what caused that one. They did confirm that both of these cars, autopilot was engaged. No evidence specifically if autopilot told them to re-engage the wheel. But at the same time, it seems as though Tesla cars are having a problem running into those lane medians. So gotta watch out with those kind of things, you know. This report came out. AI and robots will destroy fewer jobs than previously feared. However, it's going to greatly increase that social divide between the rich and the poor. Translation. It's going to get rid of all those lower level jobs, but all you guys with the upper level jobs are probably going to be slightly better off. Even that, though, I mean, there's AI robots that can take place of many lawyers. A lot of the legal type stuff. There's websites that can do a lot of that kind of stuff. And so this report's coming out and saying it's going to destroy fewer jobs. Fewer jobs at risk of automation than previously forecasters had warned. A new study offers a counterpoint to the influential 2013 paper by Oxford University. It says 47% of jobs in the U.S. were at risk of being automated. The research set a tone for much of the recent debate over automation, and its message had been reiterated in subsequent studies. Of course, this one study is probably funded by AI, groups, because this is a problem with science. I said it before. And I'll say it again, is that science is more about politics than it is about science. Science can never prove anything. Science is not a provative thing. You can't say science proves XYZ. You can say this experiment demonstrates. And although that sounds a little bit odd, when you are actually in the field of science, it is critically important. It is critically important to recognize all of the limitations of your study. This is why guys like Bill Nye, who's much of an idiot as that guy actually is, he's like coming out with all these things, even saying, somebody who denies climate change is just an idiot. Or he doesn't use that. He's like, his word is so much worse. It's like somebody who denies climate change is just is clinically insane, I think is what he says. And the reality is no. If you dig into a lot of what you call your climate change science, there is a lot more politics in that than you would imagine. There's a lot in that. I'm not saying that we're in no danger of destroying the planet. What I'm saying is that there is a lot more to it than science says. Because you know what? Science doesn't say. Science doesn't say nothing. You can do a scientific experiment. You can extrapolate some results. But even then, all you can do is demonstrate and formulate hypotheses. It takes years, decades, maybe even centuries to formulate what we might call a law, such as the law of gravity, which in and of itself is only valid in certain circumstances. The law of gravity, an object falls at 9.8 meters per second, is a different number on the moon, because there's that variability, and it can be slightly different from higher places on the Earth to lower places on the Earth because of some of those variations, things like that. And so that's one of those things to keep in mind. And so anytime you see any scientific study, you got to critically think into it and critically dig into it and seek to understand it. And the reality is most people who are your science journalists don't know jack about science. And that's one of the biggest challenges. And so when you get in and research some of this stuff, you gotta dig in and seek to understand. I made this comment the other day. I think it was on this channel. It's all drawing together now, but about veganism. One of the things, if you study any experiment dealing with a vegan, is that every experiment to pass that human review board I talked about earlier, every experiment to pass those human review boards that involves a vegan, the vegan must be supplemented with vitamin B12 in the experimental protocol, because the vegan diet does not provide that. It's a challenge. And so intrinsically, every bit of scientific research around veganism is inherently flawed, because your experimental group is taking a supplement that your control group may not be. And so we have a lot of questions to ask about science, whether it's one thing or the other. And this is the same thing. We have two conflicting studies. We can't just say, and another thing to throw in here is, since the video game debate, does video games cause violence? People keep on saying, well, the newer video game causes this violence. The older video game, there's all these older studies, but that doesn't matter because a new study says this. It doesn't matter if it's a new study or an old study. They could have looked at completely different things. So you have to dig in and understand the materials and methods, the circumstances by which the study is involved. And so it's not as clear cut. You can't just take the newest article. You can't just take the biggest article. You can't just take the article by the more published scientist, because the more published scientist may have inroads in the community, because science is more about politics than it is about science. That's why I left the field of science. Again, I got a PhD in that stuff. All right, I have a PhD in biomedical research. I make most of my living on YouTube and building websites because it's more scientific, by the way, than science. And so we can't just say the old study is right, and we can't just say the new study is right. We got to dig into this to each one. And I haven't done that. So we're just going to come out here and look at where the things agree. According to the analysis, though, the current fears are somewhat overblown. Researchers found that only 14% in these countries, which include US, UK, Canada, and Japan, are highly automatable, meaning their probability in automation is 70% over or higher. The forecast is far less dire, although it's still significant, equating to around 66 million job losses. America alone, for example, the report suggests 13 million jobs will be destroyed because of automation. As job losses are unlikely to be distributed equally across the country, it would amount to several times the disruption in the local economies caused by the 1950s decline of the car industry in Detroit, where changes in technology increased automation, among other factors, causing massive job losses. So there is a lot of jobs going to be lost. Absolutely. Oh, look at that. Coke can't load their advertisement video in there. My apologies, my host file seems to be working because I don't want auto-loaded stuff. Ha ha ha, neener. All right. But although they project total job losses are less than fear, the report will stress the impact will be incredibly damaging to groups already under the threat of today's labor markets, low-skilled workers and the young. And this is part of the biggest challenge, because one of the ways that, in fact, I was watching Boogie 2988's video today where he talked about his throughout the years, and he was talking about struggles with finding a job at that time. Being a freelance, web and SEO guy early on in his life, for numerous years, and being as overweight as he was, he's talking about the challenges of not having job experience, and so people not wanting to hire you for not having job experience. Well, what ended up being the case with him is as he rightly says, if you have this big gap of unemployment, then you're less likely to get hired. Well, as the automation starts taking place of the jobs our high schoolers have, the jobs our college guys have, the jobs are guys without a lot of other skills. And I'm not saying you got to go to college for that. I'm just saying the people who don't have the skills, anytime you get those types of losses, you're going to completely stunt them from getting jobs in the future. And that's another one of those long-term effects. And so this will seriously damage the lower income. It will moderately damage the middle income, and it won't damage the rich at all because they're just going to own all the robots. So, for whatever that's worth. Oh boy. This is an exciting one here. All right, so this is the one. This is which one is the Project Maven? So Google started to do this Project Maven thing where they're working with things with the Pentagon, and a lot of low-level Google guys, they came out and they're just kind of say that they're protesting this. They're saying we don't want Google to be involved in this type of stuff, and Ravi Zacharias says it best: our improved technology gives us improved means to reach our deteriorating ends. That's kind of what happens here. It doesn't matter if this is specifically being used for weapons development. The fact that it's this close to the Pentagon, that they're using it in these types of circumstances, it will get used for weapons development down the road. It's going to be. And so thousands of Google employees, dozens of senior engineers have signed a letter protesting companies' involvement in the Pentagon program that artificial intelligence to interpret video imagery in targeting of drone strikes. And this is significant because they're saying we don't want our research to be used this close to war. And people are concerned about a technological, industrial war complex. And that's essentially what we are getting. They're saying, Dear Sundar, we believe that Google should not be in the business of war. Sundar's like, I don't care. Government's paying me billions of dollars. This crap, I don't care. And that's the reality is. They don't care. Of course, the initial motto of Google was don't be evil. They seem to have forgotten that one over the years. They actually dropped the official motto, but from its early days, Google has encouraged employees to speak out on issues involving in the company. Of course, it'll get them fired. Just ask James Damore. Provides an internal message boards on social networks where the workers challenge management and one other about the company's products and policies. Rather, the heated debate around Google's efforts to create a more diverse workspace filled out into the open. And like I said, ask Jim Damore. But Google employees have circulated the petitions. This is at least some good people standing up and saying, we don't want to do this. Now, of course, he comes back saying, oh, no, don't worry. Project Maven is non-offensive. For now, it's not offensive. It's just gonna show us things to flag. Until we don't really need people to flag, then it's just going to go out. And this is the thing, the concern that they're worried about is that despite this may or may not be fully offensive now, it has too great of a potential to be an offensive type thing. And so if you're thinking about what are the final ends of this, well, it's already deployed, actually, on the borders of North and South Korea. This is a fully unmanned, completely AI drone that if it sees you, it just kills you. No human interaction, just, think Black Ops. You get yourself a sentry gun, you put the thing down, it spots movement, it shoots. Only this one's got wheels. Probably is connected to the internet. Oh boy, wouldn't it be interesting if some anonymous guy got a hold of this thing. So basically, more than 50 leading AI robotics and researchers said they will boycott South Korea's KAIST university. Is someone saying that right? I don't know if I'm saying that right. KAIST. I'm going to call that KAIST if that's incorrect. Someone let me know. Case University over the Institute's plans to develop AI-powered weapons. The threat was announced ahead of a UN meeting set in Geneva next week to discuss the international restrictions, so-called killer robots. It marks an escalation in tactics from the part of the scientific community actively fighting for stronger controls on AI weaponry. The boycott was organized by Professor Toby Walsh, University of New South Wales, who warned in a press statement that the race to build autonomous weapons had already begun. We can see prototypes of autonomous weapons under development today by many nations, including US, China, Russia, and the UK. We are locked into an arms race and no one wants to happen, he says. And that's the danger. It's just like, so we're developing AI, we're trying to deploy AI in these things so they can intelligently figure this out. Guys, if you have not watched the latest RoboCop, was it 2014? Watch that RoboCop, because this is that question the producers of that movie are trying to ask. Is it okay to have robots in the field like this? That's that question, and that movie raises a lot of those questions, and it asks those things like, do we need human interaction? Does the human interaction need to be in the robot or just controlling the robot? Does the human interaction just have to be on a screen on the other end pushing the actual button? That seems to be okay as long as a real live human validates the situation in the context before the robot shoots. That seems to be where we are in a world. But of course, escalation occurs. Do you think someone like North Korea cares? Nope. Not in the slightest. If it's going to help them win their war and prove themselves right, then they'll do it. I mean, that's the danger, is that on the one hand, we're already moving there. In our lifetime, people, in our lifetime, there are going to be robots roaming the streets with guns. If not in this country, then in another country. And that's a dangerous thing. That's a dangerous thing, you know? That's the thing. Yep. So that's kind of, I mean, of course, UN's going to be talking about this, so it's going to be in politics for a while, and of course we know that that's not going to go well for sure, but you know, this is that danger, this is that problem, this is that challenge, is that we have this type of situation going on where autonomous things, AI, all this kind of stuff, it's going to destroy us. We just got to be careful. Or maybe I'll learn to be hackers and take them over. I don't know. Maybe a Lost in Space moment. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah, a little bit of debate there over that message from Mark. Yeah, that is a real quote. I do understand why it was deleted, but yeah, it is an actual quote. You have American cultures over sex. What do you expect when porno is commonplace and middle schoolers cuss like sailors and parents do not say anything? Yeah. Yep. Really don't think about my comment about the cat. Just tried to make a joke. Yeah, I think I want to get t-shirts made. It has a picture of the cat, and it's something like, subscribe to the cat, the human's crazy. I don't know. Should I do that t-shirt? Sub to the cat, the human's crazy? What? You like that? The kitty likes that idea. The kitty you like that t-shirt, huh? You want to be on a t-shirt? You want to be on a t-shirt? Do you? You want to be on a t-shirt? That's right. He's thinking about it. He's thinking he might want to be on a t-shirt. Yep. All right. You need to keep your back paws off the desk, buddy. You know the rules. Back paws off the desk. There you go. All right. Yeah, copy and paste. Yeah. That's all right. It's all good. All right. It's the observer effect. Like a moth to the candle flame. Yep. Like a moth to the flame, burned by the fire. What is that? A Janet Jackson song, right? They're still in the bumper car stage. Yes. Did the car stop or just keep it? Well, you know what? I mean, I gotta say, it probably just accelerated because the way the cars are built, so that they don't randomly slam on the brakes. If they detect something in the way, like just kind of shows up in the way, they actually accelerate rather than slow down. This is what caused one of these autonomous cars to speed up into the back of a stopped fire truck, helping, putting out a fire. It's kind of crazy. Crazy. All right. It's like AI 101. It's a sensor. You can't get the basics down, perhaps. So wait, we do not need self-driving cars. Society should be fine without it. Yeah. I mean, I don't really want there to be autonomous cars, really. I mean, I'm okay with the human error part. Maybe a little less distracted human error part, but I don't know. A matter of time before someone dies and Tesla will be toast. Well, you know what, Mark? Numerous people have already died from Tesla cars, and that's the thing. It's like, nobody seems to care. If my family gets killed by a self-driving car, I swear to God, I will not let it stand. I'll kill someone. Yeah, and that's the thing, How many people have to die for autonomous cars? Of course, their entire objective, like Lyft, I want to do an article on this. I didn't get a chance, but of course, the Lyft CEO is in the news again. Oh, owning a car by 2025 won't make any sense. Just subscribe to our service. We'll own all the cars for you. Sounds great for the millionaire who owns all the cars. Sounds like a really bad plan for the rest of us. And I got news for you, moron. It doesn't cost $9,000 a year to own a car unless, of course, you're buying new cars, which you should never do. Other car went back to the scene to destroy any evidence. Autopilot should be an emergency measure, not a cause of them. Yep. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what the people of the family of Uber should have done. I mean, the family of Uber, if I had a family member killed by an Uber autonomous car, I'd be like, fine. $700 trillion. There's my settlement. Oh, you can't pay it? I guess I'll see you in court. The reason they settled that Uber case so fast is because they did not want a discovery phase. Because the discovery phase would demonstrate how negligent Uber was. And that would have led to potential criminal trials. That's what they were trying to avoid. And so that's the thing about Uber, is that they settled that so fast. Man, I wouldn't have settled that fast. I've been like, you want to settle it? Fine. I get 100% ownership of the country and of the company and $100 trillion. There you go. That's what I want. Period. Your out of control car killed my family member. That's what I want. This is an out of court settlement. Just, $1 million for the event and the several trillion for the non-disclosure. Sounds good. They settled too fast. They were just greedy people looking for money. I don't know. Autopilot for the drunk. I think the autopilot was drunk. One human life is one too many. We obviously care about the more about the emerging technology than we do. Yeah, that's the thing. Wonder where Tesla's at now in space. I don't know, but you know what? I'd like to know what's in the trunk of that thing. We're gonna die. Yeah. Indeed, Psycho Killer greetings. All right. Science simply discovers what is already there. Yep. It's a 52-mile round trip for me to get groceries. I would love to let the car tootle down 45 miles of country road, and I'll take the wheel in the town. Thanks. Science does not say what is; it says what is not, and what remains is possibility. Bill Nye's friends with my wife's brother. They love him, but I think he's a moron. Yeah. Interesting. So what am I, 2 or 3 degrees from Bill Nye? Oh, God. Well, I'm going to read a Bill Nye book soon. I found it in the community library, and I'm just waiting to sink my teeth into that thing. Climate change is the excuse for Agenda 2030. Yeah. Someone needs to inform global warming that it's April, and global warming is supposed to be here. So why is it still 30 here in Pennsylvania? Climate change is an excuse to charge people carbon tax. There you go. Just don't breathe heavy. You'll pay more tax. No one say, only God say, and no. There's no shortage of dumb people. Nope. God set it all in place if he did it with the Higgs boson or not. How can we possibly think there's no creator? There's absolutely has to be a source for fabric in the universe. Yeah. It's more of creating regulations for common people. Well, they keep on unloading poison on the whole planet. See, that's the thing, is that we need to have some degree of regulation. There's a fabulous documentary out there, and I forget the name of it, but it's all about how the American economy has been crippled by the regulation, but the Chinese economy is not impacted by it at all, and that's what allows them to completely poison everything. You know, the same thing we used to do in America, but we can't do anymore. To have a level global playing field, we need to have a global way of that type of support. And that's kind of the thing, is that who determines all those types of things? Because it's true, we don't just want to be poisoning everything. Okay. But at the same token, one volcano erupting is more than we can do with our cars in 100 years. And so there is a balance in all of it. As consumers, as individual people, we need to do the best that we can do. Use as little power as we can possibly use. That's our role. But every company, every group, every organization has that. And I think that you know, a lot of the big founders of this crap, who's like all the wannabe tree-hugging politicians with their electric bills that are 1,000 times the size of mine, maybe y'all need to cut back your power consumption first, buddy boy. Or maybe Mr. and Mrs. former president taking separate Boeing 747s across the world to go to a global warming summit is probably not a good plan. Well, come on, man. My wife had to go to New York to go shopping first. For the love. I really need to put my fire screen back on, don't I? In Illinois, Monsanto is making farmers tile their fields because if not, over time, the herbicides would poison the soil. Yeah. Yeah, I think Monsanto is a good category for a company that needs to go out of business. Skills trump college every day. Yep. This here, close the pentagram. Sounds about right. If AI is not conscious, then it is a weapon because it will do exactly what it's programmed to do. If it is conscious, then it is not a threat. Yeah. We have more rich versus poor problems than we do black versus white, left versus right, etc. I tell my friends on the left, if we all came together against the people who became rich through corruption, it would. And that's the thing, is we won't. And actually, this is the topic of my outdoor philosophy for Sunday. This is exactly the topic. It's about us versus them. Separating people. That's what I'm talking about on Sunday. Testing automated pizza delivery. Yeah. Not good for pizza drivers, though. Correct. If you don't build them, someone else will. What browser is that? I'm on WaterFox. Cat face with IR boss in bold text. The people, we surround them, but they control us with fear. Drones with facial recognition that can scan your social profile, know if you're rich or poor, who are automatically destruction mechanism in it, so I can run into you and hit you in the head. You know, that sounds very much like RoboCop red assets, doesn't it? Can't destroy the red assets. Our own soldiers won't turn us on, but the robots will turn on whoever is in control of it. Now, I know of a country that is our best friend that has the keys to our military. That's freaky. See me rot. Greetings. What we want is a network of high-speed pods. Elon Musk can think of something probably. Self-driving cars equals remote assassination. Can't have a speed sequel of the bus of self-driving. Oh, God. If I lose a single important file from a data recovery, I could lose my business from a lawsuit. If Tesla's self-driving car results in someone's death, they're still raking in millions a year. Microsoft claims Windows' latest driver for Windows 7 accidentally installs a virtual router alongside with real hardware. Should be busted for putting a wiretap on a computer. What? That's creepy. CO2 is a dipole molecule, so cannot hold meat. Or cannot hold heat. Can't hold meat either. Agree, I'm not a tree hugger, but I'd like for my descendants to have a beautiful plant to enjoy. Yep. Pouring rain in Redding, California. All right. Jim, greetings. If an AI be open source, will it be more safe? Well, I mean, no. AI itself is inherently dangerous. Because AI is designed to learn. So if it is open source now, it won't be open source when you get there. CO2 is hydrophobic, meaning no, it is not attracted or combined with water, Mel Gibson. That's why water is acid or carbonic acid, rub scrubs excessive. No, that's actually not how it works. CO2 is a nonpolar molecule. Nonpolar molecules are hydrophobic, meaning they do not interact with water. What happens with that is you're getting when you have a lot of CO2 in the upper atmosphere, you have chemical reactions with ozone, and that ends up producing the carbonic acid, which is CO3 is the carbonate ion, and then you have the hydrogen carbonate, and then you have carbonic acid, H2CO3. And so that's kind of what's going on in the midst of all of that. So no, it's CO2 being in the vicinity of water does not necessarily produce carbonic acid, although it can produce a little bit. It's not a favored reaction. What you need is a lot of electrical energy or other radical type energy, such as ozone in the environment as well. That's what causes it. Omar, greetings. Thumbs up if you're enjoying the live stream. Yes, thumbs up if you like. People ask what happened when we tried to exert complete control, but people who would refuse unlawful orders for an outright number of nomad. Entire planet faces some extreme challenges with the advancement of AI. I use WaterFox now, by the way. Be integrated into very lives on a level. So does it work in a water filtration huge company? Yeah, no. What you made a scientifically incorrect thing. CO2 is not hydrophilic. I know you may have worked in that thing. I have a PhD in chemistry, and I was a chemistry professor. I know the fundamentals of CO2 and water and environment. To form carbonic acid, you have to mix carbon dioxide in either an electrical environment, such as a thunderstorm, or a radical environment, such as with ozone. Usually what happens, you get you have carbon dioxide merging with the free radical ionization of ozone, because ozone itself is an unstable O3 molecule. What happens is, if they combine with the right energy, then you have the formation of a carbonate ion occurs in the release of free oxygen. So ozone and CO2 will combine together to form carbonate and O2, and then the carbonate's going to latch onto some water in the atmosphere to produce the the hydrogen carbonate ion. That's what happens in there. In fact, what you can do though is you can actually take CO2 and pump it directly into water. It will not form a lot of carbonic acid, just a little bit. But yeah, rain is pH 5.1 because it does have carbonic acid in it, but it's a combination of usually carbon dioxide and ozone mixing together. Yeah, I've studied it for years too. So we have two opposing views, and I don't know. But anyway, that's the thing, is that you need some type of high energy reaction, either lightning or ozone, and to create it with that. It does not react directly with water, and it is absolutely not hydrophilic. It is hydrophobic. By mere definition, every nonpolar molecule, particularly nonpolar linear molecule, is always hydrophobic. No, Coke is I think 2 or 3. Coke's really acidic. Usually that's because soda is supplemented with phosphoric acid. All right, let's move on over to bad business. Bad business. All right, CenturyLink is fighting its bill fraud lawsuit by claiming it has no customers. I need some more coffee. This is just crazy. All right, so basically what's happening here is CenturyLink, which is kind of right behind Comcast and etc. Comcast and Time Warner or whatever. Basically what happens is they're involved in this big lawsuit, and a bunch of people are trying to band together, but they're saying no. There's this the binding arbitration stuff, and they're basically saying that CenturyLink is simply a parent holding company, has no products or services and no customers in and of itself. Everybody that provides are all lumped in with the bot. Yeah, okay, CenturyLink, pay the piper, you morons. Just pay the piper. I think we're just going to go ahead and do away with that. All right, this one's a fascinating one. In fact, I'm going to need to come into my settings and let me see if I can go into my settings and turn on this without wrecking the stream. I have to turn on my desktop settings. I forgot to do that. Desktop audio device. Okay. All right. Just verify I'm not getting that. All right. So this is funny because this comes out in USA Today. And in USA Today, basically Sinclair Broadcasting Group, if you haven't heard of Sinclair, they're kind of the ones that got the FCC to overturn an old rule about who owns what in the midst of all of these news things. Basically, you couldn't own a TV, multiple TV channels, newspapers and radios, because it was considered that there'd be one place of media and you didn't have enough diversification. So Sinclair's been buying up all these things, and they have been telling people exactly what type of things to say, literally exact talking points. And so somebody came together and put together this video, which is flat out hilarious. I'm going to turn my desktop audio down until I get spotted. You are fake news. Oh, come on. Okay, this is great.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets simply aren't true without checking facts first.
This is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
All right. That's a little on the creepy side. Let me turn that down so no other video auto plays. I gotta go ahead and disable that one. There we are. All right. So basically Sinclair owns all of these companies all over the country and mandates their channels reads pretty much verbatim these scripts. And so somebody went around and gathered together all these channels and put together these videos showing how, you know, all these channels are airing all this fake news without checking facts, and they're all doing the very thing that they were accused of doing, all speaking. This is crazy. This is why monopoly rules were in place, to prevent one big company from doing this, because basically this is propaganda. This is a big propaganda machine that is on a global scale, or at least on a national scale, trying to get everyone to all believe the exact same thing, to believe the talking points, the media and talking points around us. So basically, Sinclair defends itself over uproar after local news anchors read anti-false news script. I think that should say. I don't know. But anyway, dozens of stations belonging to the world's nation's largest broadcaster have aired video promotions the past few weeks, and their local on-air news hosts voiced concerns about the troubling trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country, and the anchors then go on to say many media outlets are publishing fake stories and pushing agendas. The promotion looks unique in each market, but Sinclair's corporate Hunt Valley, Maryland headquarters scripted and distributed it to its stations. After videos showing overlapping clips of anchors reciting the same news script went viral, Democratic lawmakers and media critics condemned the company for the thinly veiled editorializing that they said promoted President Trump's attacks on news media. Adam Schiff of California, the top Democrat in the Intelligence Committee, tweeted Monday, local news stations now required by Sinclair Broadcasting to parrot the talking points of the president, moving America one step closer to its own version of a state-run media and other freedom affiliated under its administration. I am not going to go as far as to say this is a Trump station. I don't care. And I don't think that's part of it. The fact that this station, whatever they stand for, pushes all that agenda. That is what the challenge happens to be. Okay, that's kind of what's going on. This is kind of crazy stuff. So here we have. Oh yeah, here's the whole thing. You can find that article. It's kind of funny watching the whole video, but that's not good stuff. That's not good stuff at all. This is an interesting one here. I'm going to put a couple here under bad business just because it's just a reminder not to rely too heavily on someone else's cloud and someone else's data. Get your own stuff. Have your own cloud services. I don't see it worth using. Like, I guess something like Spotify or whatever else could be good to find new groups and new bands and stuff to listen to. But in reality, you know, what's kind of cool is that I can actually put all my music up on my own personal end-to-end encrypted cloud that I control on Nextcloud, and my Nextcloud app can stream my music for me. Playlists and all, that's kind of cool. And so basically, this is just a thing to say, just be careful with what apps you're using, because basically this one app came down and, I mean, tragedy happened. People had to go into the gym and sign in with paper sign-in sheets. Ew, paper and pens? I can't sign in with my app? That's just kind of a little funny thing. But of course, this one's very related, and that is that customers say they've been mysteriously locked out of their Amazon accounts, and no one seems to have an idea why. Once again, if you had Amazon Prime, if you're storing all your data in there, if you're relying on Amazon to be here, it may not be here tomorrow. Now, Amazon's probably big enough, but if they sense that you've violated some account or whatever, your stuff's gone. Your stuff's gone. That's kind of the part of the challenge, part of the issue is that with them, if you're over relying on any one service, you could lose the service, you could get locked out of the account, the business could be closed, the business could be bought out by someone else and closed, and you lose about everything that you liked. It's fundamentally like having one computer and no backups. That's fundamentally what it's like. And so just keep that in mind, is that that's kind of one of those issues. This is interesting. The FBI, this is interesting. 5-day sale, guys. $19.99 for a year. Subscribe today. All right, never mind. That's not what I wanted. AZ Central, I have no idea about these guys, but they do have, this is a news channel or a news site in Arizona, and this is the crappiest website I've ever seen. Like, I came up here and I wanted to close this thing. It goes to some other, I don't understand. But anyway, Backpage Founders' homes in Arizona were raided and the websites were seized. So Backpage.com and Backpage.ca were both seized, of course, today by the FBI. This is kind of interesting because this is all in response and allowed by the FOSTA law, which, by the way, is not even signed into law yet. But the way the language is written, it is retroactive. So as long as the president said, yeah, I'm going to sign that when it gets to my desk, it doesn't matter. They're going through basically violating the law right now because they know that the law is going to be passed because it's being put in retroactively. This is so horribly bad for the world. It's inconceivable. And so that's kind of scary. That this is just, this isn't even a lie yet. They're already doing that. All right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Reversed my bad, so the high end is base and the low end is acidic. The acidic end, 1 is the most acidic, 14 is the most basic. Love coffee, but makes me sweat for some reason. No fun arguing with a guy who's a professor. Yeah. I did a little bit of stuff in atmospheric chemistry as well. I did some honors stuff for environmental science up atmospheric chemistry. Now it's chemtrail rain. There you go. Sinclair Scripted Network. Yep. Aluminum, barium, and strontium. There you go. Sinclair is the proverbial EIG of cable TV. Yes, it is. Hey, that rhymes. You're a poet. Didn't even know it. I want coffee now. Yeah, I made myself some more coffee today because it's been a crazy day. I spent pretty much all day today staring at my accounting books and tax information. Footnotes is it sucks. The IRS wants too much money again. The IRS always wants too much money. Watch YouTube videos that shows various local news stations around the country reading the same script. The one I saw was Valentine's News. Yeah. Yep, that's the thing. Just like Fox News memos. Tom, who owns Sinclair? I thought Sinclair was the parent company, but it might not be. I don't remember. No idea. Kitty, do you know who owns Sinclair? No. The devil. The devil? The devil owns Sinclair? Yep, it's the devil himself. It's Satan. Really? All right. I guess Satan owns Sinclair. Just an FYI, Satan is the one who owns Sinclair. Okay. Good to know. Oh, boy. I used to like Fox. Just enjoy watching Tucker Carlson debate people now. Go to Natural News. Some good stuff there. The cringe progressive left made Tucker Carlson seem like an okay guy. Comcast stops rollout of cheap internet over power lines. Adam Schiff for brains. A different iteration of this video about a year ago. Let's see. Nothing shocks me more at all. Knock on wood. Yep. Kyra Holmes loves Spotify. All right. Title guy for a high bitrate audio. Just remote connect to your computer like Google and Microsoft do. There you go. Yeah, Napster's been back. You could you could download stuff from Napster legally for a while. I use FreeNAS for my own cloud here. Only downside is I have to hug it every day because it's BSD. Yeah. I actually use OMV. I love OMV. OMV works great. It's Debian based on NAS. I think MySpace should try to make it come back. MySpace still exists. It's kind of a different thing now, but I paid for Napster for a while when they were legal. Yeah. It was FOSTA. This is the law that was it was pushed through Congress and Senate, kind of attached. It might have been attached to the omnibus bill. It was attached to one of the other bills. I forget which one, but basically it's the one that's supposed to stop online sex trafficking. So it's like is it F? I forget what the F stands for, but it's F Online Sex Trafficking Act or something. Maybe it's free online. I forget. But basically, this is a highly destructive bill that should have never passed. In fact, it was several hundred pages and nobody got a chance to read it. It basically says that if anything is on any website that could be sex trafficking, the site owner is completely responsible. That means if you run a blog and you have comments turned on and some scammer leaves you 15 spam comments with a redacted paste bin link that leads to mail order prostitutes from Russia, you can be held criminally liable for sex trafficking. That's what the bill says. Backpage. Backpage was a website that basically was it was like an adult type website, but there was some controversy over their classified section. Apparently had, you know, prostitution stuff in the background, which they took down. I mean, they took it down months ago. High school for me, early enough. Let's see. You can have it if you want it, Tom. I love the EIG reference. Yeah. Sinclair owns 2 local stations. Ugh, I'm sorry. The mainstream media accidentally makes Napster more popular. Do I remember you talking about the local radio ownership rules? Which video was that? I don't know. It was one of the news videos. I just don't remember which one it is, unfortunately. I do not believe it's meant for trafficking like you. No, it is so open-ended it could. This is actually why Craigslist shut down their personal site section of their website. It is such a bad bill. All right, let's go ahead and just do a couple brief public service announcements. If you shop at Panera Bread, PaneraBread.com leaks millions of customer records. Names, email addresses, physical address, birthdays, and the last 4 digits of your credit card number for at least 8 months. Yay, Panera Bread. Who shops at PaneraBread.com? It didn't even occur to me to think to shop at PaneraBread.com. I mean, I might go there to see when the restaurant's open if I had a meeting there or something, but bad day for leaks, by the way. Sears Holding, Delta Air, also hit by security breaches. So if you have used your credit cards at Sears or Delta Air, be wary of that one. Notify the incident mid-March. Incident led to unauthorized access to credit card information for under 100,000 of its customers. Really? Sears has 100,000 customers still? I didn't think they have that many people shopping there anymore. That means all of them, apparently. Let's see. Provided online services for Delta, Sears, and Kmart, among other companies, found cybersecurity incident affected online customers. So they were kind of linked, I guess. Security Sky Mall's information was not impacted, Delta said. So something about Delta here as well, but I'm not seeing as much information about Delta. But if you shop at Sears or Kmart, just go sign... talk to your doctor, get a reference for a psychiatric care, and ask, why are you shopping at Sears? Yeah. No. And of course, Best Buy. Best Buy hit with another security breach. Best Buy apparently is not very good at securing their data. Just an FYI, just be wary of that. The kitty is being too cute. Look at that kitty. So this is not credit cards, apparently. Apparently this is just emails. That's all they got is emails. So they grabbed some email addresses from people. And that's essentially all they got is just email addresses. So that's not a super, super big deal. You know, because we all get so many scams on our email addresses anyway. But anyway, but regardless, yeah, indeed, Best Buy as well got hit with a security breach as well. Again, apparently they keep getting those. It's like every time you go into Best Buy, it's like, no. Here's what's called cash for that item. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Script D for audiobooks. Rocks beats the bricks out of Audible. Okay, I think these are inside leaks to create totalitarian laws. I worked at Kmart for 2 years. Oh. Kitty, did you work at Kmart for 2 years? He's like, yep, I worked at Kmart. Look at me, everybody. I'm cute. Oh, boy. And I have 2 articles under the really, people? Really? All right. This one just came out. I mean, you can see how late this was. Show started at 9. This came out at 7:35. And the Department of Homeland Security defends media monitoring database and calls critics conspiracy theorists. Excuse me. Don't run, kitty. I needed a hat for this one. Only wearers of tinfoil hats have issues with standard practice monitoring. Yeah, I'm wearing a tinfoil hat. I got problems with standard practice monitoring. Basically, Bloomberg Law uncovered a job listing looking to keep tabs on over 290,000 global news sources and develop an extensive database for an unconfirmed number of media influencers after news outlets reported about the amount of data sought by this job listing. DHS Press Secretary Tyler Halton issued a response on Friday to verify its legitimacy and alleged that the data project aims with will be standard practice. Any suggestion otherwise is fit for tinfoil hat wearing black helicopters conspiracy theorists. What more can I say? The cat is looking at me like, what are you thinking? But anyway, they are seeking to deliver media comparison tools, design and rebranding tools, communication tools, the ability to identify top media influencers for a span ranging from 1 to 5 years with the aim of tracking any and all media coverage related to Department of Homeland Security or any particular event. Part of the data combing effort would include the development of a database that gathers intel about journalists, editors, correspondents, social media influencers, bloggers, etc., including locations, beats, reporter types, contact details, overviews of each influencer's previous coverage, current publications, and any other information that could be relevant. The firm would also be expected to deliver an app-based framework that DHS staffers could use to parse online articles and social media conversations and or receive automatic alerts through internal smartphone alerts, SMS, email, WhatsApp messages. Great. Feed it all to Facebook. Wonderful. The DHS only specifies password protection for the app security protocol as opposed to any. Yeah. Despite what some reports may suggest, this is nothing more than the standard practice of monitoring current events in the media. Any suggestion otherwise is for tinfoil hat wearing black helicopters conspiracy theorists. Well, call me a conspiracy theorist because I'm wearing a tinfoil hat, yo. In spite of his aggressive response, which was sent to press who'd asked for the DHS comment about the contract, Bloomberg's report didn't include any implication of why or how the contract job would play out, other than to point out that Trump's administration's use of fake news as a frequent qualifier and the U.S.'s recent interest in flagging Al Jazeera as a foreign agent. All right, so that's a fascinating article, I guess. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I do kind of, I don't know. Kind of frightening. Kind of frightening. Oh, boy. So somebody issued a FOIA request in order to get the internal communications surrounding the Harlem Shake YouTube video that Asia Pie did, and the FCC says, no, those have to remain a secret. I mean, national security is at risk if those Harlem Shake correspondence emails leak. Really? Hey, kitty? Yeah. Is Agent Pie a moron? Of course he's not. He's intelligent. He's a genius. Secretly an evil spy. And he's out to kill the world. That's right. So yes, there is Agent Pie. Of course, if y'all remember this video. So, yeah, basically, whose idea this was, filed the FOIA request for emails between Daily Caller and the FCC, as well as any talking points regarding the huge PR coup. And 4 months later, FCC responded. The agency found 2 pages of emails, but will be withholding them in their entirety under FOIA's infamous B5 exemption regarding deliberative process. Great. Oh, boy. That brings me to the end of the articles. Kitty needs to be on a shirt or a mouse pad. Kitty, you want to be on a shirt or a mouse pad? Do you? He's thinking about it. Privacy has gone out the window. Yeah, Best Buy sucked for 10 years. My email is long gone. It's only a theory until it's a fact. Might be on the list, huh? Dude, I wear a tinfoil hat in some of my videos. You better believe I'm on the list. Not that, but the previous job I had, which was calling college professors for an hour at a time selling academic software. Know how many probably, you know, visa people related to foreign countries I probably call on my cell phone? Yeah, I've been on the list for a long time. This kind of talk was in science fiction books about dystopias and Twilight Zone episodes. We are living now. Yep. The cat's staring at me like, what are you doing? You are ignoring me? Ignoring? Ignoring? Am I ignoring Popcat? Let me turn on live chat. Oh, hello. Oh. Now, my apologies if I missed any of your things. YouTube defaults this stupid top chat instead of live chat, and I miss some things in there. All right. PUC suggests behavior modification as people use less electricity. All right. Let's go ahead and do a final call for comments. We're going to go ahead and get this kitty fed up, and then we'll kind of wrap this show up. Yeah, kitty. Yeah, kitty. You know what time it is? You know what time it is? Do you know what time it is? You know what time it is? Time for the Irresistibles. Yes, it is. It's time for Irresistibles. Yes, it is. Oh yeah. You want to stick your head in there? Stick your head in there? I don't have anything in my hand. You want to stick your head in there? I don't have anything in my hand right now. They're all in here. Want to go in there? Dude, he's like, he's drooling. There's like slobber on my desk. Here you go. See? Put your paw in there. Put your paw in there. It's really cute when you put your paw in there. Can you do it? No, right there. Right there. All right, fine. By the way, just an FYI, guys, this cat, as cute as he is actually very stupid. This is probably the stupidest cat I've ever owned. He is so adorable, but he's a little on the dumb side. Yeah. Oh, right there. You got it. You got it. Oh, did you get it? Yes, you did. Right there. Are they finger looking good? Are they finger looking good? Yes, they are, aren't they? They're finger looking good, huh? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, you're so cute, aren't you? Yes, you are. Oh, he's purring up a storm. Want to purr for the microphone? All right, let's see. Watch the BBC series called The Prisoner. We are that character. All right. I like cats. Cool. I like you too, Pop Cat. Thanks for watching. All right. Ah, cat's hair everywhere. Yes, you are a sheddy kitty, aren't you? Social security number. Kitty knew that Satan runs Sinclair. Yep. How about my wife describes me adorable but stupid? The kitty is so woke. Are you woke? Are you woke? Are ya? Here, I'm gonna use your paw to wipe the slobber off my desk. Is that okay? Thanks, kitty. He's putting slobber on my stuff. Yeah, Sinclair puts the sin in Sinclair. He's like, I got fed. I'm out of here now. All right, kitty. We'll see ya. All right, we'll go ahead and wrap this guy up. Once again, if you'd like to help support the channel, check out switchtolinux.com/support. You can find all the ways to support us over there, including the Amazon affiliate links down below. There's a PayPal link over there if you just want to send a quick tip using that method. If you go head on over to shop.switchtolinux.com, you can pick up a mouse pad. You can pick up things like travel mugs. I have t-shirts, shopping bags, things like that over there. That will redirect you to Spreadshirt, where I have those. And if you are on Patreon, you can support me at patreon.com/TomM. And let me know if any other types of things you'd like to see over there. I definitely do any video requests that patrons give me over there. So let me know if there's anything you'd like to see. Let's see. Do you mind if I contact you about web design? Yes, that's fine. Just go ahead and shoot me a PM and I'll send you an email back or something. Or you can use the contact form on my website at switchtolinks.com. That's cool. I'll be glad to get back to you. Kitty is growing on you. All right. Yeah, Kitty always grows on you. All right, guys. Well, we will catch you guys later. Thanks for hanging out, and we will see you later. Tinfoil hat time planned for tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we are going to be talking about what Microsoft and Apple and Facebook and Amazon does not want you to know. 5 o'clock Eastern time. We'll see you then.